you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am, as always, Mr. Clark Griswold. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys are new to the Strat or new to the channel, then welcome to you guys as well. We are about to change the way that you guys trade in the stock market. If you haven't done so yet, go down, click that subscribe button at the bottom of the page, and then hit that bell. That's the important part. The bell gives you notifications for when I send out videos just like this one. This video is our top plays, our watch list for, what are we looking at, Wednesday, June 15th, okay? So I also put out top 5 plays every day. I send out weekly swings, monthly swings, informational videos, motivational videos. I have over 200 videos for you guys to learn how to trade in the stock market, how to trade the Strat. Okay, I've got videos on how to trade these inside bars, how to trade these outside bars, how to trade 3-1 setups, double inside bars, trade reviews, what a broadening formation is, what these candlestick numbers mean, entries and exits, how to manage your trades. The list goes on and on and on. Sarah Strat Sniper's 50% rule. I've got a 4-part video series on Paul Ituaro's 30 and 30, which is just a reversal pattern on the 30-minute time frame. I've got 2 videos on how to play gaps, orb videos, all kinds of videos for you guys to help you learn, okay? So go check those out on the channel. They are there. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. You can ask me questions there. You can DM me there. There's no silly or dumb questions, guys. I'm here to help you out. If you have a question, ask it. I am pretty adamant about getting back to you guys within the same day on all of your questions. Okay, and then you can do the same thing below on any one of my YouTube videos in the comment section. Ask any question. One more note before we get started here, guys. I love putting these videos out for you guys. I'm happy that you guys get something from it. I hope you get something from it. In saying that, I want to continue to do this, and I want to continue to make it free for you guys. Keep the money in your pockets. And in order to do that, when a 15 or 30-second ad comes up, I need you guys to watch those. When you watch those ads, the advertisers pay for these videos, okay? Keep your money in your pockets. Let the advertisers pay for you guys to learn this stuff, okay? Keep your money. Let's learn this together, okay? And then I can keep putting this information out to you guys for free. Let's get started on the list. Okay, I'm going to start with SPY. It's not one of the normal things that I would look at, but there are a few things here, okay? So first thing, we've got full time frame continuity to the downside. Day, week, month, quarterly, yearly are all showing to the downside. We can look in the indicator tab, type in time frame continuity. Author is Board Rider B. These candle numbers are candle type the Strat. Author is Crinklebind. Somebody on Twitter told me, maybe it was on YouTube, the Strat V2. I can't remember what it was. Comment down below. Whoever was watching that, comment down below. How about if I take out the Strat V2? Can't find it. Anyways, comment down below for that indicator, okay, guys? I'm pretty sure someone mentioned it on my Twitter DM, but mention it here, guys, if you're watching the video, so everybody else can find that. I think it gives you a bunch of this stuff all in one, okay? So we have the day, the week, the month, quarterly, and yearly, all red. Okay. We can call this a hammer candle. It's not completely, but pretty close. So showing a bullish pattern. It is red. We are also at the bottom of a broadening formation. Okay. So if we go back and look, we've hit all these lower lows, lower lows, lower low, lower low, and lower low. And in order for it to reverse, we need it to trigger past this. We've got some gaps to fill. I'm going to put in targets here. Target 1, not that we're going to hit all of these, and not even that this trade is going to go and trend in the upward direction, but Sarah Strat Sniper would call this an exhaustion play. Time frame continuity is all to the downside, but we've taken out all of these targets along the way. Okay, we've hit all of these. We've hit the broadening formations all the way down. Okay, and we can go back up to here. Look, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, lower low. We've come back up, lower low again. So this is a cautionary play. You can watch it. It's tough because you're going against time frame continuity, but you are an exhaustion risk here with the bottom of these broadening formations. So just pay attention to SPY. I watch it every day anyways, so if we trigger above, it's very possible that we hit this target here at 381.81, trigger at 377.94. Okay, I just wanted to go through that real quickly before we get into the rest of this list. Next up, we've got Goldman Sachs GS. And guys, I think I am going to put out a top 5 play today, and as we go through these, I'm sure you can guess the majority of what will be on that list if you follow along with me normally. I'm sure you will know. So Goldman Sachs, we had a 2 up that finished red. Okay, this week is currently green, but if we go to the weekly, here is where we would do complete our flip to red. Okay, I'll put that in there in green. Let's switch back to the day. If we don't even need to hit first targets, and this month will flip, will be full red. Full time frame continuity to the downside, okay? If we hit, if we trigger to the downside and hit first targets, we will be completely red, all to the downside on Goldman Sachs. Okay, IBM, we can take, well, here we go. Inside bar, it's very possible this will be on the top 5, okay? Because it is an inside bar. So let's talk about these for a second for anybody who's new. Inside bars or 1 bars. If you don't know what these candlestick numbers mean, guys, go check out my video on what the candlestick numbers represent, okay? So this is an inside bar or a 1 bar when we're dealing with the strat. Inside bar shows consolidation. It does not break the high or the low of the previous candle. It stays within that range, and it's a tightening range, okay? And when we get that, I always look at these as a spring. And when you tighten a spring and you compact it and collapse it and let it go, it explodes to one direction or the other. And more likely than not, the probabilities tell us that that happens. And you can see here, if we just go back in time and look, inside bar, 1, 2, 3, 4 straight days it ran up. Inside bar, 1 day, hit targets. This one also came up just a hair. Okay, inside bar, nice run up. Inside bar, beautiful run down. I could do this on any time frame. Inside bar, 1, 2, 3 day run down. Okay? Probabilities tell us that the inside bars are a very probable trade. Okay? We do have a shooter candle, which is this big block here with a long wick at the top. Okay? Or an inverse hammer. Okay, the day, the week, the quarterly, and yearly are all green. The month is red. If we go to the month, we have a long ways to go before we turn that month to green. But when we day trade, I like to see for sure the day and the week, one color. The month is a bonus, quarterly is another bonus, yearly is another bonus. So we can take a break to the upside on this at $136.95. There's your first target to the upside. We can take puts at 134.86. There is your target to the downside. First targets anyways. You can mark off second and third. It's just the tops of the preceding wicks or the bottoms of the preceding wicks. Now, if we are to trend to the downward end of this, we look at the week. The week flips to red here before we hit our first target. Okay? And then our month, like we showed you guys, our month is already red. Okay? So this IBM play realistically could go either way, and we could see full time frame continuity on the day, week, month, either outside of the month, either way. Okay. MS is Morgan Stanley. So Morgan Stanley on the daily has a 2 up that finished red. So again, a 2 up is a bar or a candlestick that only crosses the high of the previous candle, but this is what we call a failed 2. So it's a 2 up, failed 2, it's red. Okay, we finished down here. We have full time frame continuity to the downside. The only crappy thing about this is our first target is not great. There's only about 70 cents there. And if we put a second target in, we're going way, way back. Somewhere back into last summer. Last summer's price is what we're approaching there. So you guys can go check that one out if you want for second targets. But we can take puts on this one at 74.29. Full time frame continuity to the downside, okay? And guys, this stuff that I'm giving you is probabilities. It's not foolproof, okay? So if a trade goes against you and we break through here, it happened. I went through the review video today on Kroger, I think, KR, and we went to the upside just barely, and then it reversed on us. And that sometimes that happens, and there's not a whole bunch you can do about it. It happens. You get your stops in, keep them tight, and keep your losses small, okay? So nothing is a for sure ever in the stock market, okay? So next up, we've got Nike, NKE, inside bar on Nike. We can take calls at 111.91, puts at 110.01. The day and the week are green. In order for us to flip that week, it's not going to take much, okay? If we trigger to the downside, that week is going to be red. The month is already red, okay? So the downside is more probable. If we go to the month, we got a long ways to get that month to a green, okay? To trend up. So probabilities tell us that this thing's going to go down if we trigger, okay? So trigger, if we trigger, the day, the week, the month, quarterly, yearly are all red on Nike. Okay, Roblox RBLX has a 2 up red. We just talked about this one. Okay, so talked about the scenario of a 2 up red, a failed 2. So we can look for puts at 25.17. And again, the targets on this one are order of magnitude or pivots, whatever you want to call it, stink. Okay, 2 cents difference. And then the next one is far, far down again. So this is just one of those things you guys want to watch. And I don't care. You don't have to hit this second target. You can take profit somewhere in here if it reverses on you and starts trending up, okay? So puts on Roblox at $25.17. If we trigger on this here, then our weekly will definitely be red and we'll have full time frame to the downside. Let's move on to Apple, AAPL. Apple has an inside bar. I will guarantee you this one will be on the list. We've got full time frame continuity to the downside. Okay, calls at 133.89, puts at 131.48 is what we would actually like to see based on this time frame continuity, okay? AMC has another inside bar. We can take calls at 12.05, puts at 11.11. The day and the week are green. In order to get that week to red, again, it's not going to take much. If we trigger to the downside, this week will already be flipped. We'll have full time frame to the downside. Okay, the month is a red inside bar. We have a ways to go to get outside to break that inside bar. I'll put a line here to see where we're at and go back to the daily. And it looks like first, second, third, fourth target would get us to get outside of this inside month, okay? That's on AMC. BA, I believe that's Boeing. Boeing on the daily, 2 down green. So the opposite of what we were looking at with the 2 up reds. We have a 2 down green. This has a big hammer on it, but we can call that a hammer candle. But we run into issues here with this week, month, quarterly, and yearly are all red. Okay, so be careful on Boeing if you're watching this one, but we can take calls and look for a reversal. Target 1 would be here. Target 2, I know I always say the top of the preceding wicks. There's a gap here, meaning there's no candle to fill this area, so it's a gap. So we take the bottom. Once that gap fills, that's a target met, okay, or a magnitude met, and then we move up to the next one, and then we have another gap, so we take it to the bottom again right there. Okay, so that's BA. C is Citigroup. Sorry guys, Citigroup has an inside bar. Okay, so we can take calls at 46.73, puts at 45.55. Let me pull that time frame continuity up. All red. Okay, so probabilities tell us we're going to continue to trend down on Citigroup tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Okay, like I said, calls at 46.73, puts 45.55. The magnitude on these is not great. Again, it's better to the upside. And again, same thing we just had on Boeing. Bottom of the wick, top of the wick. Bottom of the wick, top of the wick, because of the gaps. Okay. Chewy is up next. CHWI. Chewy has a 2 down green. We can take calls at $27.98. Chevron CVX has a 2 up that finished red, so it failed 2. We can look for puts at 165.84. Let's go see what the time frame continuity is. I saw OG Trades talking about something about Kramer and his call on oil and gas to start buying, and what do you know, it starts taking a dump right after he says it. It's classic Kramer. Day, week, month are all red, so let's look for puts at 165.84. We've got good magnitude to the downside there at 164.06 for a first target. The weekly has already triggered 2 down on CVX. DraftKings had a nice play on this one last week. Let's see if we can do it again on this week. On the daily, we had a 2 up that finished green. Bottom of a broadening formation here. So again, that's the one time we can go against time frame continuity. We can look for calls at 11.84. I'll zoom out so you can see what I've got here on this broadening formation. Lower low, lower low. Broke through this lower low and a lower low. Okay? And then we come back up to the high side. And I don't have this one drawn here, but we could draw it. The other one's here. Okay, so that's DraftKings. Etsy, ETSY. Let's zoom back in because Etsy has an inside bar on the day. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Let's get in on this one. And I'll get this time frame continuity set up. Still glitching. I don't know what's going on with it. Here we go. Inside bar doji candle on Etsy. So we can take calls at $73.84. Puts at $70.11. Everything's red except for the day. If we go to the week, again, we can change that week to green very easily. That month is going to take a little bit more. Okay, that month is way up here to turn it to green. If we trend to the upside, and I will put this indicator line on here, and we go back to the daily to see where we're at, and it would be first, second, through the second target, okay, before we flip that month to green. So probabilities that it goes down, but again, it has a very good chance of going up as well. GE is up next. General Electric, inside bar, same thing, full time frame continuity to the downside. The week we can probably flip to green based on this. On this here. So your flip would be up here. So calls at $68.91, puts at $67.53. Lucid, LCID, 2 down green. Let's look for calls on Lucid at $16.96. First target. And remember what we talked about with the gaps. Okay, there's your first target. When you have a gap, your next target is the bottom of that candle, okay? So again, full time frame continuity to the downside outside of the day, but lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low. Let's look for a reversal pattern for Lucid to trend back up, okay? See how that worked on the broadening formations? If you don't know, go check out the broadening formations video, okay, for a little help with that. M is Macys. Macys has an inside bar, okay? Consolidation does not break the higher or the low of the previous candle. We're getting spring loaded, ready to jump. Calls at 21.97, puts at 21.13 on Macys. Okay, Mastercard also has an inside bar. Visa does it as well. I don't have Visa on here though. Okay, Mastercard calls 324, puts 319.66. The premiums on these are usually high, and the spread between the bid and the ask are not great, but I put it on here anyways. Okay, MGM, also an inside bar, calls at 29.70, puts at 28.53. Again, week, month, quarterly, yearly are all to the downside outside of this day. So probability tells us we're going to trend down. If we want to flip that week to green, we're looking right here. Almost at first targets to flip that week to green on MGM. Moderna, I believe, had an inside bar. It does. Calls at 123.15, puts at 115.89. Week, month, quarterly, yearly, all red. Our flip on the week is right here, okay, to go to green. Otherwise, it's all red. Marvel, MRVL, 2 down, red. Bottom of a broadening formation again. And I can zoom out. There's our higher high, our lower low. Higher high, lower low, higher high. Couple of lower lows, we come back up and lower lows again, so we can look for a reversal with exhaustion risk on Marvel tomorrow. We can take calls on this one at 49.84, but again, be cautious of this because we are full red on the time frame, okay? NVAX, I believe this one doesn't have great spreads between the bid and the ask either, but inside bars, call at 39.50, puts 35.33, time frame continuity to the downside. The week would flip right here. Okay, that's on NVAX. Oracle is up next. Oracle has a 2 up that finish red with a big gap. Okay, so here we are, and we are all red outside of this week. So in order to flip that week, we've got a long way to go. Okay, that week doesn't flip till way down here. But outside of that, everything else is red. So we can look for puts on this one at $69.02. We've got target 1 here. Again, to fill that gap, right? Like we talked about. Target 1. Target 2. I'm going to stop putting these in because it's not letting me. Target 2. And target 3 right there. Okay, that's on Oracle. Next up is Pfizer, PFE. Pfizer 2 down green. We can look for calls on Pfizer at 48.47. Almost tagging the bottom of another broadening formation there. If we go far back, lower lows to lower lows to lower lows to higher highs to lower lows. Okay, that's on Pfizer. Palantir. Palantir has an inside bar. Full time frame to the downside outside of today. We can look for calls at 7.98, puts at 7.59. The week flips right here if we trigger on the daily, okay? TTD is a trade desk inside bar, calls at 47.43, puts very probable with the full time frame to the downside at $45.07. I guess the one thing we should mention on TTD is the bottom of that broadening formation, okay? So we zoom out, and we have to go far out on this one. Here we go, okay? Lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, and then we rip back through here, come back up, rip through again, come back up, and we've tagged. We'll see if we can trend back to the upside off of that inside bar. Otherwise, we're headed down lower on the trade desk, okay? Twitter is up next, TWTR. 2 up that finish red. We can call that a shooter candle. Full time frame continuity to the downside. Let's look for puts on Twitter at $37.22. UPST is Upstart. Upstart has an inside bar. Calls at 35.63, puts at 33.41. Time frame pointing all to the downside. If we flip to the week, it'll be before we trigger, okay? So we can have that day in the week green on the day trade. VLO, Valero Energy. Hello, Jim Cramer. That's funny. 2 up red on Valero. We can take puts on this one at 131.68. First target is, let's get that blue. First target there. I'll give you guys a second target as well right there, and it goes on and on and on. Okay, the day and the week are red. The month is green. Where are we going to flip that month to red? It's before we even hit first targets. So I'm going to put this third one in here, and then we'll head back to the daily. Right there. That's where the month flips to red. So we could have the daily, the weekly, and the monthly all red if we do trigger to the downside on VLO. Okay, XOM, guys. That's the last one. 2 up red. Hello, Jim Cramer. 2 up red. Day, week, month are all red. Puts at $95.27. There's your first target, your first order of magnitude, your first pivot point where the bulls have their stop losses. Doesn't matter. Call it anything. Means the same thing. Target 93.92. Guys, that's a list. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and make sure you watch those ads. Let's keep this free for you guys. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.